We have a family who we're supporting and whose loved one was moved 5 times throughout detention centers. They were also put in solitary confinement. This happened after a fight broke inside the concentration camp where he's being held. They were fighting over food. And this effort, this campaign, it's simple. We are going to go out into the community. We are going to knock doors because we believe and we know that families belong together. Our community is scared. Our community is afraid. And our community is also strong. As we go out today into the community to knock doors, we are going to be telling people, neighbors, that they have power. They have the power to keep their neighbors safe. They have the power to alert people in their block, in their neighborhood. Because it is up to us. Nobody else. We know that nobody's coming to save us. We know that laws are not being respected and shredded every day. And that is why today we are officially launching a helpline which will help people in the community to report ICE activity. It will also help us connect people in the community to the different resources that we have to offer, including the support that we provide to families after a loved one has been kidnapped. Again, all I have this morning is gratitude and also excitement and encouragement because we're coming together, because we understand that it is up to us and nobody else. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to hitting the streets with all of you.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When our community is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
We have each other. We are here for one another. We will keep one another safe. I'm going to introduce our second speaker, who is Sebastian Sanchez from WCSU's Latin American Students Association, the president of WCSU's Latin American Students Association. Come on up, Sebastian. Sebastian is studying social work and political science, and we are so glad that you have joined us today.
Hello everyone, good morning. I'm honored and I'm proud to be here today, not just as a student, but as someone who has seen what it means to be a part of a community where immigration isn't just an issue, it's a part of our everyday lives. Danbury is home to families all over the world, people who work hard, people who care deeply and want the same thing as everybody else. They want a chance to be together and most importantly, stay together. Our city is full of hardworking immigrant families who make communities stronger every day. Families who believe in education, opportunity, and the promise that if you work hard, you can make a better life for yourself. But for too many of us, that promise comes with a fear. Fear that one day, someone we love might not come home. I remember being told as a kid to always be careful around the police. If somebody ever asked about my parents' status, to not answer, keep my head down, to keep quiet, to not draw attention from people who might want to separate us. Even as a child, that message stayed with me. That fear stayed with me. And maybe one day, one traffic stop, one wrong thing, and suddenly I wouldn't know the next time I would be able to see my parents. That kind of fear doesn't just disappear. It shapes how you see the world, how you walk into school, and how you imagine your future. No child should have to grow up with that kind of worry. We should be focused on learning, on friends, and on dreaming, not whether our families will be together tomorrow. And that's why today matters. This rally and the launch of this helpline, it's more about than our words. It's about hope, safety, and preparation. It's about saying that we see you, that we hear you, and that we're standing up. No student should have to sit in a classroom and be worried that if by the time they get back home, their parents will be there. No family should live in fear for just doing what everyone else is doing, all other families. To work hard, to take care of the children, and to build a future. When families feel secure, the whole community thrives. Everybody does. This helpline isn't just a number, it's a lifeline. It's a resource that will help families get answers, make emergency plans, and know that they're not alone. But we also know that a phone number isn't on its own enough. We need action. We need our city and state leaders to do more to protect our immigrant families. We need schools that make every student, no matter where they came from, feel seen, supported, and safe. And we need spaces like these where people can come together, speak out, and take care of one another. Today I speak on behalf of every student who's ever had to stay quiet, ever had to stay out of sight, and not draw attention. I'm speaking for every child who's ever carried that fear quietly, hoping that their family will be okay. And for every young person who's ready to say enough. We are stronger when we look out for one another. And when we turn our fear to action and uncertainty into community like we have here today. So let's keep showing up. Let's keep calling for change. And let's make sure that every student in the city, in the county, and in the state of Connecticut know that when they come back home, their family's going to be there. Thank you.
No fear, no hate, no I say nor say. No fear, no hate, no I say nor say. No fear, no hate, no I say nor say.
We know that fascism is here. These actions are meant to instill fear in us, to stop us from acting, to divide us, but we refuse. We refuse. ICE does not belong in Connecticut. Our families belong together in Connecticut. We urge our governor and the legislator to wake up and take action during the upcoming special session to protect the personal information of our immigrant community, to get ICE out of our courthouses, to protect our communities from militarized immigration enforcement. We call on our mayors in our cities to prevent local law enforcement from assisting ICE indirectly. We call on them to prepare local families with resources and to defend local sensitive locations. The city must create a plan of how they will respond when and if and whenever ICE agents and vehicles are reported in the community.
Yes, they must.
They must. They must. I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Alessandra de la Vega, who is an immigrant and a child of immigrants, and also a Danbury Public Schools teacher, and a wonderful leader in our community of Greater Danbury Unites for Immigrants, with whom I have the pleasure of working closely on our post-disappearance team.
I'm a middle school Spanish teacher here in Danbury. In this group, at our meetings, we start with a check-in question. And occasionally it is, what brought you to this work? And my answer is always the same, my students. And I don't only mean the ones who are in my courses, I mean all the students at Westside Middle School Academy where I teach. As an educator in the building, I get to know all the students at least a little bit because of our work outside of the classroom and because I teach all grades. Living and working in a city like Danbury, while I don't know the immigration status of individual students and their families, it's obvious that there are many who come from mixed status families. I still remember the first time this was brought up to me by a student. It was my third year teaching in Danbury, and Trump had just been elected for the first time. One of my sixth grade girls came to me to talk, and she was in tears because her godparents were undocumented and she was terrified that they were going to be deported. I felt utterly useless to help or comfort her. The one saving grace we had then was that schools were safe havens and ICE could not come into our buildings or onto the property. Now, with the second Trump presidency, I'm seeing an even greater impact on our students. Last school year, we could see that absences were much higher when there had been a strong ICE presence in our area the previous day, and this trend has continued. I had students who told me that their parents were keeping them home to avoid having to risk going outside with them. I know at least one student was likely undocumented, and their concern for their baby brother, who was born here, was heart-wrenching. I have had many students approach me with concerns about relatives, family, friends, and even their parents, both during the 2024-25 school year and since school began in August. Many adults forget that it's not only the children of the undocumented who suffer, it's any child who has a close relationship with them. The younger they are, the more complicated it is to explain the circumstances, what's happening, why, and to try to make them feel safe and secure. The stress on these children is manifesting in their lower grades and disruptive or aggressive behaviors. I'm uniquely positioned to notice these differences because I teach all three grades. In many cases, I teach the same students for 3 years. I know what they were like before the violent abductions and the ignoring of due process that we have witnessed in our country, our state, and in Danbury itself. I can see the differences in them now. I worry about the children directly impacted and those who are directly impacted. We have seen that in other parts of the country, ICE is not hesitating to take parents when they arrive at schools to pick up their children, and ICE is not hesitating to abandon those children, calling the Department of Children and Families to deal with the mess they leave behind. Children who witness their parents being violently ripped away from them by people often wearing masks are traumatized. So are the other children who witness this happening, and more so if they are friends with the children whose parents have been taken. Adolescents who are abducted by masked individuals are traumatized, as are their classmates who see this occur in front of them. Working with pre-adolescents and young adolescents, many have smartphones and access to social media. They've seen what's happening in other places and what has happened here in Danbury. They hear the adults in their community talk about the conditions being faced today. The constant fear of losing a parent, a family member, or a close family friend is taking its toll on these young people because they simply are not mature enough to have developed all the coping skills an adult might have to help them deal with this. And it's not easy for adults, so how much worse is it for children and adolescents? I know our school counselors in our district are doing what they can to heal and protect our students, but we all need to do our part. What is happening is leaving scars on our entire community, and if we don't come together to protect each other and our most vulnerable members, it will only grow worse.
I cannot imagine being a human being who could hear the cries of a child and not feel it right here. It would be evil, truly evil, to hear the cries of a child and not feel it right here. We have to protect our schools. We have to protect our hospitals. We have to protect our people, our communities, because families belong together. Families belong together. Say it with me. Families belong together. Families belong together. Families belong together. It is my pleasure to introduce Eva Avega. There you are, who is Vice President of the Ecuadorian Civic Center and a first-generation Latina.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to do it in English and then in Spanish. My name is Eva Vega, and I have the honor of serving as the Vice President of the Ecuadorian Civic Center of Greater Danbury. As a first-generation Latina, I'm proud to represent an organization that stands beside families in our community. Families who come to us for guidance, support, and trust. At the Ecuadorian Civic Center, we believe deeply in the importance of safe and welcoming spaces, where our community can access resources, information, and due process without fear. Every person deserves to know their rights and to know where to go and learn about them. It is so important that we all take the time to know our rights, be prepared, have these conversations, and learn about the resources available right here in our community. Knowledge gives us confidence, and connection gives us strength. I want to encourage everyone here today to ask questions, reach out for help, advocate, and share what you learn with others. You are never alone. There are people and organizations ready to support you. We believe that every family, every worker, and every neighbor deserves to feel safe, protected, and valued. And that begins with being informed and standing together. That's why I'm so thankful for Danbury Unites for Immigrants and all the organizations and all of you for being here today. For not only advocating, but for standing with those who may feel they don't have a voice right now. This is what true community looks like. Reaching out, lifting each other up, and standing united. I always remind people, being prepared isn't about fear. It's about care. It's about protecting our families, our neighbors, and our shared future. So today, I ask everyone, stay informed, stay connected, know your rights, and be part of this ongoing commitment to protect and strengthen our community. Because at the end of the day, our strength comes from unity. Thank you to the Danbury Unites for Immigrants for bringing us together and for continuing to lead with heart, compassion, and courage.
Yeah!
I'm going to do it as well in Spanish. Como latina de primera generación, me siento muy orgullosa de representar una organización que apoya a las familias de nuestra comunidad. Familias que vienen a nosotros buscando ayuda, información y confianza. En el Centro Cívico Ecuatoriano creemos que es muy importante tener lugares seguros y amigables, donde nuestra gente puede encontrar recursos, información y apoyo legal sin miedo. Cada persona merece conocer sus derechos y saber dónde puede ir para aprender más sobre ellos. Es muy importante conocer nuestros derechos, estar preparados, tener estas conversaciones y aprender los recursos que existen aquí en nuestra comunidad. El conocimiento nos da confianza y la conexión nos da fuerza. Quiero animar a todos a que hagan preguntas, busquen ayuda y compartan la información con los demás. No están solos. Hay personas y organizaciones que quieren apoyarles. Creemos que todas las familias, trabajadores y vecinos merecen sentirse seguros y valorados. Y eso empieza con estar informados y unidos. Quiero dar la gracia a Danbury Unites for Immigrants y a todas las organizaciones y a ustedes que están aquí hoy. Gracias por apoyar y estar al lado de quienes sienten que no tienen voz en este momento. Eso es comunidad. Ayudarnos, escucharnos y mantenernos unidos. Siempre digo que estar preparados no es tener miedo. Es una forma de cuidar a nuestras familias, a nuestros vecinos y a nuestro futuro juntos. Hoy les invito a todos a mantenerse informados, conectados. Conozcan sus derechos y ser parte de este compromiso constante de proteger y fortalecer a nuestra comunidad. Porque al final del día, nuestra fuerza está en la unión. Gracias a todos ustedes. Thank you guys.
Say it once, say it twice. We will not put up with ICE.
Say it once, say it twice.
We will not
put up with ICE.
Say it once,
Say it twice. We will not put up with ICE.
This is what community looks like. This is it. None of us will be left on our own. We will join with one another. We will be together in this because we will not let anyone go. I want to introduce Dan Piper, who is a union teacher and a member of the Connecticut Education Association and from the Connecticut Civil Liberties Defense Committee.
Thank you very much. I am here in part because of a debt that I owe to the immigrant community and especially to the immigrant community of Danbury, both of whom showed working people throughout this state, throughout this country, what power looks like and how to fight back. It's not something that you see very much remembered in the media, but I will remember it for the rest of my life. When I saw immigrants mobilizing throughout the United States in response to 2 anti-immigrant bills in 2006, starting in March, where? Chicago. Going on where? To LA. And then on April 10th, in practically every city with immigrants in this country, thousands mobilizing in Willimantic, New Haven, Hartford, Danbury, Waterbury, against the Sensenbrenner bill and the McCain bill. Both bills aim to reduce the status of immigrants to indentured servants and worse, felons, and those who help immigrants. The Sensenbrenner bill was designed to make teachers, doctors, lawyers, priests who worked with immigrants into felons. Immigrants mobilized against these bills on an unprecedented basis, culminating in a mass demonstration on May 1st, 2006, which shut down 2/3 of meatpacking because immigrant workers didn't go to work that day, which shut down the service sector, fast food, manufacturing. It showed working people in this country what kind of power we have. And if you ask me, what is one of the central reasons why the Trump administration is targeting immigrants? It is because of that lesson. That is why they're going for Chicago. That is why they're going for LA. That is why they're coming to Danbury. Because in Danbury, we saw a fight here to free the Danbury 11 to stop their deportation. We saw a fight which was an example to people throughout this state and the country. The New York Times reported on it. Because this community fought against the Connecticut Citizens for Immigration Control, a racist vigilante group whose first meeting was 200 people who'd gone down to the border with guns and came up and said, hey, we're going to try to police immigrants here ourselves. This community mobilized in opposition to that racism, that hate, successfully and showed what it was and brought that group down from 200 to nothing just by mobilizing, just by making their voices heard. And after the community had been terrorized by ICE raids and other actions and brought down to a small number of demonstrations, when Mayor Boughton was working to pass the 287G program to deputize local police as ICE, the community mobilized again in thousands against that bill. So I owe a debt. The working people of this state owe a debt to the immigrant community and to the immigrant community in Danbury to show us how to fight. With the Trump administration, I want to back up one sec. These raids, the taking of parents, the taking of children from their families, as the other teacher who spoke here today pointed out, it is a truly horrific, brutal, inhuman thing to do. Anyone who's close to a child knows the kind of suffering that is caused by this, the kind of destruction that is caused by this. It's not just being done because people are careless or because they're hateful. This is being done because the people who are carrying out these raids, they want us all afraid so that they can reduce the conditions of our jobs, so they can reduce the conditions of our living standards, so they can make us work for less. On some levels, it is that simple. And they want us to think, if we stick our heads out, if we stick our necks out, maybe they won't come for us. They'll come for the next person. And they do that because they know they can't come for everybody at once. That's why ICE agents wear masks. They know they are in the minority. They know everybody finds this to be horrific. That's why they wear masks. So they want to convince us, when they come for one, leave them alone. Move on, ignore it. That's not what we're saying in Connecticut. In the Connecticut Civil Liberties Defense Committee, with members in Stamford, Hartford, New Haven, Willimantic, New London, we say an injury to Danbury is an injury to all. An injury to immigrants is an injury to all. If you come for our people in Danbury, we will be for our people in Danbury, because they are leaders in our community and they're showing us what kind of bravery we need to move forward and to make a better future. Thank you very much.
Resistencia, 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 resistencia.
I am so grateful to each of you for coming out so early in the morning to gather. I didn't start with an introduction, and I'm sorry for that. I'm Sierra Marie Gerfeo, and I'm from the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Danbury and the Unitarian Universalist Social Justice Ministry of Connecticut. And I'm also a member of Greater Danbury Unites for Immigrants. And I'm proud that we have come together to strengthen the network of support and safety for the families in our community. I want to invite you to sign in if you haven't signed in so that we know who is here today, and then you can take a number of materials that we have available for you. And I want to thank you again for coming out this morning and being part of this important effort.
There was a large banner and it talked about a helpline and it had a phone number. We're going to superimpose that. What is that about?
So we want to have a number that people can call. We have launched it as of today, a number that people can call if they need resources. Immigrants in the community and their supporters who need resources, who need to get connected, or who are needing help because ICE is present in their area and they need to ask for help. The number is a number that they can call at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get a response from members of Greater Danbury Unites for Immigrants.
Thank you.
You're welcome.